I think this is the oldest one out here. This looks like something you would see at a haunted house.
My name is Micah. I travel around videoing everything and anything I find interesting. Let's take a closer look.
Hi everybody, welcome to the world of Micah. I am here in downtown Kissimmee right now, historic downtown Kissimmee, Florida, hanging out with my buddy Marvin. He's been showing me a lot of different things here today. Every time I hear the word haunted or hear about haunts or anything like ghosts or anything, I'm into it. I love haunted things. Big fan of going to haunted places and hearing ghost stories and everything. So my buddy Marvin was telling me about some haunted things that happened down here, downtown Kissimmee. And one of those places is right here behind me at the Grisham Funeral Home in this playground. Right there's the funeral home, right here's the playground. Let's take a closer look at a historic haunted area here in downtown Kissimmee. So as you guys see, this is downtown Kissimmee. Right over there is the courthouse, which is another haunted area. I'm gonna get to that soon. Right here is Griffin Park. Supposedly, people have seen these swings swinging by themselves. There used to be a merry-go-round right over in this general area. Now, the merry-go-round has been since removed, but right over here, this merry-go-round used to spin itself. People had seen it, and the reason I think is because of this right here. That is a funeral home. So while your kids are playing, they're literally looking at a funeral home. I think that's why this is the way it is and while it's haunted. Because I mean, if you're driving by and you see this swinging just like that by itself, and it's really not that windy and none of these other swings are swinging, something's up. So check out this old stagecoach. This was actually a part of the original park here, and now they've got all this caution tape up. I guess they're not going to get rid of it, but they don't want kids to play on it because, as you can see, yeah, it's a little rusty. Unless you've had a tetanus shot in the last couple of years, I don't recommend anybody playing on that. But that's pretty cool, man. Old school playground set of a stagecoach. And this haunted playground. Look at that swing. Of course I did that. People have also said different things about these hanging trees here, these hanging moss trees. People have said they've seen people who are not from this time hanging out under these trees like a ghost. Kind of like those people over there. Now supposedly the reason this is haunted is there's a little girl that likes to play in this playground, and she's kind of telling strangers to leave. She doesn't really want people to be here. I'm not sure if she likes kids to still come here and play. Since we've been here, nothing crazy has kind of happened, but apparently that's why these swings and the merry-go-round that once was here went around. She was kind of telling strangers to leave. And I don't know, but I bet you that girl was probably taken care of when she passed away inside that funeral home there. So hopefully soon I can come back here at night and take a closer look at this park after hours and after everybody's kind of disappeared and everything, and when there's not that much traffic, because I feel like you can hear things and your senses are heightened at night, especially if you're trying to look for a ghost. But now let's walk over here to this courthouse where I'll tell you guys about a guy who supposedly is still heard from time to time walking the halls. So I'm right out front of the new courthouse, and right over here is the old courthouse, and this one has had some haunts happen inside. So apparently back in the day, a guy named John Overstreet, which I'm almost positive because of Marvin, they told me there was a street over here named Overstreet, and I'm almost positive that's why they named that street Overstreet, is because of John Overstreet. He was a clerk of courts, and he worked inside this building right here. And supposedly, to this day, up on the 3rd floor, right up there in the halls, you can still hear John walking around. Some say he's still doing his daily duties. He never really left. I don't know. What do you believe? Right up there, guys, the 3rd floor. That is where John Overstreet still walks to this day. I absolutely wish I could get up there and show you guys. Unfortunately, this courthouse is still in use, and unless you have business here, they definitely don't want you to go inside, and they definitely wouldn't want me to go up there and video. But right up there, John Overstreet still hanging out. I'll tell you guys what, from this angle, this place definitely has an eerie look to it. So what do you guys know about John Overstreet? If you know any other information about that guy, or if you've actually ever been up there on the 3rd floor and heard any of the disturbances that people have heard, him walking around, ruffling up something, or just sounding like he is still working, let me know, because I want to know all about this guy. I'm very, very interested in learning about Mr. John Overstreet. Here, the Kissimmee Courthouse, Kissimmee, Florida. All right, so Marvin and I are walking across the street right now, and oh, and by the way, this is all you're going to see of Marvin right here. That's it. Marvin's a good buddy of mine, and we've known each other for a couple of years. But we think this place right here, and that's it, man. 804 right there. This place apparently knows and gives information about haunted tours. So let's walk inside, or even see if they're still open. I don't think they're open, guys. I don't think anyone's home. Back in Marvin's truck, and we're leaving Kissimmee right now. We're actually driving to St. Cloud, Florida. I've never been to St. Cloud, Florida, but apparently there's a pretty cool hotel there that is haunted. I don't know if we're gonna get access into that hotel whatsoever, but there's also another location that was used in a cult horror flick from back in the 60s. So when we get to St. Cloud, we're gonna walk around and see if we can find some information on this stuff. So I am now in historic St. Cloud, Florida, and I just went inside this place. Check that out. The Ghost Stop. And these guys were pretty awesome. Gave me some inside tips on some places here downtown St. Cloud that are supposedly still haunted. Right outside the St. Cloud Hotel and Spa. This hotel was burnt down in 1910 and they rebuilt it in 1911. It is for sale now, and supposedly people see a cowboy lurking around on that porch right there sometimes. Pretty crazy. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to go inside. It is for sale. They do not let you guys trespass in there whatsoever. But we're gonna go down here and look at this building, this red building right here, because this was used in one of the coolest slasher movies, 2000 Maniacs. So this hotel right here, Hunter Arms, was actually used in the movie 2000 Maniacs. Pretty. So apparently people still live inside that hotel. It's actually like a residential area. A nice guy was standing out and he actually had a key, so he let me and Marvin inside. We went inside. The owner was sitting there in the living room, and I asked him, and he told me, yes, this is where they filmed the 1964 movie 2000 Maniacs, and they also filmed a scene from the movie The Waterboy inside there, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to take any photos or video inside because there are people living there and they didn't want to disrupt them. They didn't have, you know, anybody's approval for me to take photos or anything. He just didn't want to bug anybody. So he was very nice, and I'm really grateful I got to go inside and actually see it, because if you're a fan of the movie 2000 Maniacs, it looks just like it did when they filmed the movie here in 1964. So that was awesome. All right, so we're here at Shingle Creek, and we just noticed something on this sign. Another guy with the last name Overstreet. I don't know if he's related to the same Overstreet family, but that's kind of weird. Anyways, we are out here in the cemetery because how could you not do a haunted video without visiting a cemetery. So the story about Shingle Creek Cemetery is, once upon a time, a Vietnam veteran was actually walking around here, and it probably was around the same time I'm walking around right now, and he noticed a man walking around in a gray Confederate soldier outfit. The man didn't bother him. The man just saluted him however he did and kind of let him be at peace, and the guy apparently disappeared. So that guy knew he was not actually someone recreating anything or a fan of the Confederate Army or anything like that, but he thinks it was a ghost. And it's kind of haunting because out here there are Confederate soldiers buried, as you can see right here. Check this out. Confederate States Army. Look at this grave. Pretty freaky. And if you guys look, there's several Confederate flags throughout this cemetery. And look at this. Another Overstreet is actually buried here. And apparently Harry Overstreet, what gave the deed to this land. So I really want to say that the Overstreet family had something to do with this. Is the same Overstreet family that we were talking about earlier at the courthouse. Look at this old bench. So apparently you can come out here and, you know, pay your respects, but I don't think anybody would want to sit on this bench anymore, especially with these bad boys sticking up there. That wouldn't be good. Alright guys, I think this is the oldest one out here. This looks like something you would see at a haunted house. I mean, wow. Died 1889, 35 years old. An Englishman of London, England. Buried here in Central Florida. I mean, look at this old grave. Pretty insane. That was a little freaky. I think Marvin's ready to head out, guys. Not gonna lie, this was pretty weird. Hold on. So, I guess I'll just tell you. My camera froze. We were literally, this little girl just came over here and asked us what we were doing. You know, asked us if we were videoing everything. We told her we were taking photos and, you know, just looking at the different graves and everything. We're not bothering anybody. So she was cool with it. But quickly after, we started making our way over to the Confederate areas. We started seeing some of the Confederate flags and everything on the graves. We were looking at them, and my camera froze. And I kid you not, I turned it on and off, on and off, on and off. Could not record. It was frozen, and it was so weird because I was literally turning my camera off, and I have a Nikon, and it was not doing anything. It was literally frozen. I tried to pull my phone out, and Marvin is my witness. My phone said cannot record video, so I was trying to video my phone so I could show you guys that it was frozen. Just different things, but kind of gnarly. I mean, I think when you walk out to these places like different cemetery stuff, your senses are heightened, and I think you kind of freak yourself out. But I don't know, that was just a little gnarly. So we're gonna get back in Marvin's truck now, but this is Shingle Cemetery here in Kissimmee, Florida. If you guys are ever out here, come out here. Definitely a good haunt spot, and just trying to wrap my head around all these different families and everything here in Florida. Here in Florida. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for taking a closer look at a few little haunted places around here in Kissimmee. I like doing these haunted videos. Hopefully I can start doing more of these, especially hanging out with Marvin, who knows a lot of history about Florida and Kissimmee and St. Cloud area. Marvin's lived here for a very long time, so really appreciate this guy showing me around today. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for taking a closer look, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/worldofmicah. Until next time, everybody, stay weird. Goodbye.